Hey guys, today I thought I'd put this video together for you on just some tips of mine on when collecting militaria or military items. These are just some things that I do that I think are good practices, and some of you guys may already do things like this, the same things, or have your own way of doing things, but I thought I'd share some of my tips, and guidelines for collecting, and hopefully it'll help you guys out with your collecting as well. What I wanted to kind of go over is, like I said, just some really simple things that kind of helps in the collecting world, to kind of make things easier, at least for me anyways. So I'll just get started. One thing I want to say, is one thing I always try to do is whenever I'm looking at something to buy, I always look for a date. I think it's always good when things are dated. A lot of times it helps with the authenticity of things because, I'm not into reproduction or fakes or anything, but so I usually try to look for dates on things. I think that's real important. And another thing, like I said, I don't really do the repro thing, but if there's ever an item I'm looking at in a store or wherever, and I'm kind of questionable whether it's real or if it's a reproduction, if the price is super cheap, like really, really cheap, I'm going to buy it anyways, because worst case scenario, it does turn out to be a reproduction, but I could always sell it, and maybe get my money back, or maybe even make a profit, sell it to somebody else who wouldn't mind having reproduction stuff, but so I would definitely always buy something if it's almost for free, it's that cheap. I think it's worth the risk. And like I said, you can always turn around and resell it and get your money back, and usually then some. I've had a lot of good luck with that. Another thing is, a lot of times, whether we're reading a tag in a store or we're talking to a person that's wanting to sell a particular item, they might have a story with it. And if there's not any provenance, not any paperwork or any proof, don't buy an item because of the story you were told, because there's a lot of people out there that deceive others, who make up stories. There's a lot of times that stories can get mixed up and everything, and can be confusing and everything. So always buy the item itself. Don't just buy the story. Now, if an item does have proper paperwork, and proof that, what's being said about it is real, then that's even better. That's a bonus, so that's really cool. But like I said, just go with the item itself, and like I said, any paperwork or whatever will be a bonus. Do not go along with the story, because anybody can make up anything to get you to buy it. There's a lot of not friendly people out there, as I'm sure you guys know. Like I said, I make lists of things also. As you guys see here, I'll start with these. See, I got all this on my computer. I got all kind of charts and like almost taking inventory of everything. I just like to know. I'm somewhat OCD, but I like to know about my, the items I have, which I don't have everything listed yet. It's just a long process, but make lists, and make charts and everything of what you collect. It's a good way of keeping your own personal records of things. And also, I get on different websites, somewhat doing my research and everything on items. I definitely would say do that. Get on Google, Wikipedia, just start looking around, start getting knowledge and understanding of, things to collect. And it helps you when you're actually out there, in the stores or shows or wherever. And whenever I come across something really cool, really good information, even though it might be saved on my computer, I go ahead and print me a copy of it. I got a folder here with just all kind of stuff I've stapled together just for like reference and everything. So I definitely recommend that. Like I said, just start researching, start becoming familiar with things. I definitely recommend getting you some good reference books. You've seen probably these in a few other videos. This is a great book here for helmets. It's got a chart, a heat stamp chart or heat lot chart for the McCord helmets. But it tells you all about helmet liners and all kind of different things. This is an awesome book. Definitely get that. And this book right here is amazing. It goes over ranks, insignias, patches, just all kinds of stuff. So definitely get these two books. You will not regret it. For sure. I'm telling you, get those books. Another thing I do here is, you see these tags. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen them in other videos. I like to tag my items, whether it's a helmet, a bayonet, uniform, canteen, whatever. what I do is I write a description on here of what it is, and then, sometimes it carries over to the back, and I'll write the price I paid for it. That way, just kind of keeping records, again, like an inventory type thing. I definitely recommend that. These are cheap. You can get them for $2, $3 for like 100 of them. So definitely I would start doing that. That's a good practice, so you can remember, what an item is, or maybe where you bought it, how much you paid for it. It kind of brings back memories, of your hunting and your picking. I think it's really fun and cool to do. Right here, you see, I got my business cards, something I made up and designed and everything. I keep these in my wallet all the time. I give them out, every so often, and leave them at antique stores or you're wherever. Sometimes you can leave your cards for people to pick up if they see them. But, I'm a member of a lot of Facebook groups and somewhat like a social network type thing, I'm all over the place. I'm always picking and stuff. I have a lot of people who look out for things that they think I would like, and they'll text me or call me or send me pictures, and I return the favor. I look out for them as well, things they may be looking for their collections, whatever they collect. And it's just good to build like a community, so you can have more eyes out there, looking for things, because there's no way you're going to be able to cover all the ground and look and see everything. That's why it's good to have some close friends or family members or whatever that can help look for you, and I've come across a lot of good items that, I wouldn't have known about or would have missed out on if it hadn't been for other people looking out for me. And most of you guys know, I've got 3 kids, and whenever we go to antique stores and stuff, they look out for me, and my wife looks out for me too, and I look for things they may like. There's been several times we're at a store or a flea market or wherever, and I've looked over something, and one of my kids will be like, "Daddy, there's a canteen," or "Daddy, there's a helmet," or my wife will pick up something that I've overlooked. So I've somewhat trained, my family to look for me, and like I said, I reward them when they do find something. I make it a fun thing. They love finding things for Daddy, especially if it's something that I missed, But anyways, I'm looking at my notes here. Like I said, definitely get reference books, study books and everything. Google, Wikipedia. One other thing I wanted to say is you guys have seen, my helmet room, a lot of you, how I display my helmets and everything on my shelves. And a few of you, have made comments over the last several months or whatever, about the way I label my things. And I was going to show you what I do as far as my labeling for my helmet shells. I'll get on the computer and type, whatever my description is, and I'll print it out. And then, I'll cut all around the words. And then a way of somewhat laminating, I guess you could say, that I do is I use clear tape here. I got my scissors and everything. And what I do is, like I said, it'll have whatever description on here, but I'll tape the front side. And then what I do is, I'll flip it over and tape the back side. So you see it's taped on both sides. What you see, there's excess, there's extra all around. And so what I do next is, I'll just get a pair of scissors and I cut all the way around, all that extra tape all the way around, I cut it off. And then I buy this Velcro here, which I cut into pieces. And see, I stick a piece of Velcro on the back of my label here. And then this other piece that the Velcro sticks to, right here, what I do is, I use my table here as an example. See, I've got it stuck here on my table. And then what I'll do is, I'll just take the label and stick it on there, and there you go. And so, this helps out a lot, because I buy a lot of helmets and I'm always shifting them around. So all I got to do is just peel off the label, and then I can move it over this way, or move it over that way, or move it up and down different shelves. I've got these all around my shelves. It just makes it easier. Like I said, just stick it on there nice and neat the best you can, and if you got to move it, peel it off and move it around. I just think that's a really good practice. It's something I made up that definitely helps with me with my labeling and everything. And it helps. It's a better way of presenting your items, and especially when people come over, family or friends, and they're looking, they can read the description instead of just looking at just a shelves of helmets. They don't know what era they're from. They don't know anything about them. They think they're all the same. They all look the same, but you can tell a story about your items with your labels here. Another thing I wanted to show you, I know you probably saw these here. These are dryer lint sheets. You throw them in your dryer when you're drying your clothes. And what these are used for, get the scented ones, I think these were 97 cents, maybe a dollar for 40 of them. And a lot of you guys know when we collect stuff, a lot of the stuff we collect smells like crap. Like it just stinks so bad, it smells like death. It is musty and just an old, horrible smell. Been in a Foot Locker for 70 years or buried or whatever. It just stinks horribly bad. And so I got to where I get these dryer lint sheets, the scented ones, you know, there's different smells. And you can actually take these here and stick them in, you know, the pockets of your jackets or your uniforms, or stick them down in your shoes you're displaying, or, you know, or your packs or bags or whatever, you know. Which, I mean, you wouldn't have to stick one in every single pocket. Really, as strong as this is, this would probably take care of one jacket, you know. It'll help with the smell, because, you know, a lot of my uniforms and stuff are in my closet, my walk-in closet. And my wife hates the way my closet smells, because it smells like crap. You know, it smells like old musty stuff. So I got to where, you know, I start using these, and it helps with the smell in there. So that's just a good practice of helping with that. So definitely, I mean, for $1, you can't go wrong. I would definitely do that. Another thing I wanted to share here with you, I got this helmet liner, and I got these baby wipes. Now, you know, a lot of times when I buy stuff, or even you guys, you know, the stuff is really dirty. It's got, you know, dirt or crud or dust or whatever on it. And I clean the stuff. You know, I'm not going to do anything to hurt the value of an item, but I mean, if it's just caked with dirt and mud and crud, you know, and everything, then I'm going to clean it up a little bit, you know, which, like I said, it won't affect the value. A lot of times when I get a helmet liner, it's just so dirty and nasty in here. You can't read, you know, who made it, the maker's mark down there. And believe it or not, there's been several times when I've started wiping the helmet liner out, and I might have uncovered a name or something else real important. So on the helmet liners, I like to use, like I said, baby wipes. If I can get one out of here, I'll show you. Instead of, you know, a rag. I know most of you like to use a rag, but like I said, I just kind of go over it. Just kind of wipe it off. It's hard to do with one hand here, because my other hand's normally holding it, but see, this one's already been cleaned. See, it's not really anything on here, but it just helps wipe away some of that dirt and crud. And then if I want to find a maker's mark, see, I get down in here underneath the webbing, just start rubbing around. See, and got a little bit of crud on there. And then, you know, you'll be able to see, okay, this was made by such and such, you know. And like I said, you might find a name. There's no telling what you could find. So that's just another best practice, you know, of something that I do. Like I said, just some baby wet wipes. And I believe these were $2. $2 for 72 wipes. So this would last a pretty good long while. But that's just another thing I kind of came up with that I think is really helpful and everything. But as you guys know, I appreciate you so much. And anytime or any way I can ever help you guys, I like commenting back and forth or messaging or reaching out to you in any way and just sharing. You know, I'm not perfect at all. I'm not an expert. You know, and that's why I mentioned in a lot of my videos, if you guys want to add to it, or if I said something wrong, you know, or a description, or you can tell me more about the items I have, feel free to do it. You know, I won't be bothered by it or mad or angry. I look forward to learning. We're all learning. Nobody knows everything. There's always more to learn, but these are just some ways I wanted to help you guys out, you know, to help better your collection, or better display it, or clean your items, or, you know, just different things. Just, this is how John Boy 09, this is how I do it. And I'm sure there's going to be other tips and stuff I can kind of think of and maybe do a follow-up video, but I just wanted to go in and do these items that I had here thought off the top of my head. But anyways, like I said, reference books, print off information, make charts, get you some tags, label and price your stuff, get you some business cards, get a network out there, some family and friends looking out for you. If you want to do this label system like I do, it works great, you know, especially if you move helmets or, you know, different things, move your collection around a lot on shelves, or, you know, a bookcase or whatever, that helps. Like I said, get these $1. This helps with the smell. And then the wet wipes and anything. But anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to starting to make a lot more videos. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good day.